Hello everybody, welcome to another Magic Deck Tech, or actually the matches side of it. I already have the Deck Tech video up and loaded. You can go and check it down below in the description, so if you want to know exactly what cards are in the deck and why, you can check it out below there. This is a deck that is based off of, and very close to, a deck that was described by Eric Froelich on Channel Fireball as a deck of the day. It's Mono Blue Aggro. So we're going to jump right into the games, and I'll let you look at the deck tech if you want to know a little bit more about it. Looks like we're in good shape here. We're going to run it through a quick constructed because it's just nice and easy, fast to do. I like that a lot. And yeah, our opponent is unfortunately already mulliganed twice, so they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. We've got a pretty consistent hand here too. Double Siren Stormtamer, one of the best cards we can have in our deck. And, you know, favorable wins, lots of early damage. This deck is all about playing a ton of early flyers with a fair bit of damage on them, and just overwhelming your opponent before they can recover. Here, I might... They're looking so much at removing this, I might just play another Siren Stormtamer. Ooh, Walking Ballista is annoying. Oh, they're just gonna kill it right now? Wow. Okay. I think I'll play the Skyship Plunderer then. Yeah, I'll definitely do it now. That's surprising to me. I mean, I guess they only have 2 lands, maybe? I'm gonna guess that they're green-black? I don't know. Another Walking Ballista. I see. And they're just... Man, they're just using them as removal. Opponent is unafraid. Well, let's get some Tempest Djinns down, then. These are the real threats. They're just Serendipity that get better and better. And the opponent doesn't have removal for it, so... You know, because I have another 2 Tempest Djinns, I'm just going to keep playing them. A lot of times I like playing Siren Stormtamer to back up and make sure that I have protection for them, but with our opponent being stuck on power, stuck on lands and not able to play too much, I think that we can just play the aggressive game here of play as many Djinns as possible and smack them down. They're also not in a color that's going to really have board wipes. It's possible they have, like... The board wipes that most mono-black decks especially would run, in my mind, would be things like Golden Demise or Henny's Expertise, and they don't have either of those, like, as an answer to Djinns, so we're just gonna smack them in the face. I'm gonna play Siren Stormtamer as just a little bit of extra insurance here. I could play Favorable Winds, but they're already dead, so there's not very much point in doing that. And there we go! Triple Tempest Djinn plus Stormtamers is a pretty good one. Whew. Also, I mean, helps when your opponent does double mulligans. Unlucky for them, but lucky for us. Alright, game 2. Double Unsummon is probably not what we want. We have some 2-drops, though. I think this is okay. Certainly not amazing, but it'll work. We're going to jam Skyship Plunderer first, probably. See if maybe we can hit Aerialist. If we can, then we can just start snowballing it. Getting +1/+1 counters onto it. Ooh, mono red. Or red-black. Fairly likely. It's possible that there's something weird like blue-red, but when you see mountains, there's a lot of mono red in this. Oh, there we go. It is a blue-red deck. We could Curious Obsession, but I'm really worried about doing that into red mana, so I'm just going to attack with Skyship Plunderer and play Warkite Marauder. Especially since they're acting as if they have something. Like, they're pausing, so it does definitely look like they have some kind of an instant to play. Maybe just an Opt? Maybe like a Braid, or could it be Essence Scatter? There we go. It is in fact the Essence Scatter. They might have had multiples though, like they could have had a Braid up too, and I don't want to run this into an open amount of mana. Like if they tap out, they don't have a way to block this, I'll certainly do it. If we lose it at that point, at least it's replaced itself, but running it out there into open mana with blue-red seems like a really bad idea. Oh, I wonder if this is like the blue-red control deck with Mirari's Conjecture. Or maybe even blue-red Godpharaoh's Gift. It might be that, too. I think that this is a Mirari's Conjecture deck, though. Ooh, this is interesting. So we could either Tempest Djinn, or we could Curious Obsession and Favorable Winds. I think that we want a Djinn. Well, they're tapped out. Djinn is just so important. It's an incredible amount of damage if they don't have an answer to it right away. And I don't want them to have an Essence Scatter, or Censor, or Syncopate, or whatever to stop it later on. Yeah, alright. I'm going to put Curious Obsession onto the Plunderer. It's into open mana, so it is certainly dicey. But if they're using it there, they're not killing the Djinn. Yeah, it's a Braid. I might have been able to use it on Djinn and not have it get killed. I'll unsummon our Plunderer. We lose some tempo on that. But I get the feeling that our opponent's not running any creatures and they're all just all removal. Alright, send in the Djinn. Essence Scatter? No. Maybe just another Abrade? Nope. It does, like, they're pausing, so it really seems like they have spells to play. They're just not choosing to use them yet. They might be using double removal on it. Yep. Lightning Strike and Abrade? Or Magma Spray, maybe? Double Lightning Strike. Ooh, baby. Well, Favorable Winds adds a little bit of damage. Ooh, and Stormfleet Aerialist is cool. I mean, we talked about that as going to be really, really good at Skyship Plunderer. It does have a little bit of awkwardness here in that it doesn't get a token, like it doesn't get a counter on it unless we've already attacked. And obviously, we want to attack and add a counter to it immediately, which you just can't do it. You have to have them both survive a turn, which is unfortunate, but it's still a pretty powerful interaction, so. And boy, did I misplay that. Sorry, I missed out on a point of damage. I don't know why I did. Cryptic Serpent. That is more than okay. We can certainly race against it. A 6/5 is not a real problem. Seeker of Insight. That is also fine. Ooh, another Plunderer. So we can keep that Aerialist just pumping up. Now we've got a 4/5. And we'll play another Plunderer. I'm just going to hold up Unsummon. We're not really worried about Cryptic Serpent being able to race us. We're worried about them having things like blockers or killing off our creatures. Secrets of the Golden City. I am more than okay with our opponent playing Divination. They now need multiple blockers or multiple removal spells on just 3 mana, which seems pretty unlikely. Take 6, down to 14. Show me what you got. I can't imagine a spell that saves them. Even Sweltering Sun wouldn't have done it beforehand, so. Yeah, that 1 point of damage is kind of coming back to haunt us, though, if they have something here that I'm not able to think of. Because they should have been on 3, which would make every creature lethal. But I think we're good anyways. Maybe they have Unsummon and a Lightning Strike or something? Okay. Cool. I was going to unsummon the Skyship Plunderer to save it, but they do not have enough. Would have felt bad if they had both like a Blink of the Eye and a Magma Spray there, because they could have lived on 1, and we would have been able to have them dead if I'd played properly. So, just got a little too fast there, got ahead of myself, and played a little sloppy. But, still won. Let's keep going. Ooh, this is the first hand that I don't really like. We don't have any early creatures. I don't think that I can mulligan this, but we need to draw into something. We need to draw like a Warkite Marauder or Plunderer or something like that. Not having a 2-drop is pretty awkward. Double Curious Obsession is good if we have something to put it on. Yeah, ooh. Oh, this is extra bad, because, yeah, they've got a really nice start here for Mono Red. Bomat Courier, turn 1, is kind of the play, as they say. At least Tempest Djinn is a big critter that they'll have trouble dealing with, I hope. But it's gonna be dicey. Bomat Courier is a lot of value early on. At least they didn't play anything. We are flooding a bit. We need to draw some non-lands. Tempest Djinn is huge, though. On-crop Crasher, sure, attack. Exert. Just try and race us down. I don't know that I would have blocked anyways, though, because I'd be afraid of a lightning strike. Ooh, hello. So we're going to Curious Obsession, play land, make it 5. And I think just play another Tempest Djinn. There's also Siren Stormtamer. We have the Lookout's Dispersal if I want to hold that up instead. Wow, this got tough. Kind of wish I'd played the Curious Obsession so we could have Stormtamer and Obsession on Djinn. Maybe I just do that now anyways. It's close. I'm going to play a second Djinn. Next turn it means that we can have Stormtamer, Lookout's Dispersal, and Curious Obsession all sitting there. Yeah, Hazoret doesn't do anything yet. And they forgot to attack with Bomat Courier. Oh, sorry, no. We've got Djinn. I'm an idiot. They can't attack with Bomat Courier. If I was them, I probably would have attacked that and just, like, represented a lightning strike or something. I don't think they want us to... think that I would be hard-pressed to call that. In any case, we've got Siren Stormtamer. We can protect either one of them, and we can also have the Lookout's Dispersal as well. Yeah. 12 flying damage coming in, drawing us 2 cards, with Counterspell backup and protection for them on board. I'm playing sloppy. I'll admit it. Well, not really playing sloppy. That time I called the wrong thing. I thought that they could attack the Bomat Courier. I think that they should have before playing Hazoret. I wouldn't have blocked, but minor changes from our opponent, and certainly one that could be argued as, you know, we might have blocked there, so it would have been really bad if we had. In any case, deck's doing real well, getting our packs and crushing so far. All right, well, we've got a 1, a 2, and a 3, and we're on the play. This is looking great. Definitely going to keep this. These games are so fast, I'm, like, not used to it. I need to almost slow myself down because I'm calling things a little bit too fast. We're making some very minor mistakes so far, but a little bit of mistakes because of it. Hello. I'm not used to being able to just whip through games this quickly. I'm not the aggro player. So they might have a seal away here. I've got to be careful. Attack with both. Nice. Thanks. I'm still going to Tempest Djinn. They can't kill the really important one, the Djinn, with normal, like, seal away type removal. What is this? Is this just, like, mono-white aggro? Do they maybe have, like, History of Benalia? Hey, there we go. I can race down a History of Benalia. Another Lookout's Dispersal. Don't know how much I want the third one, but sure. Could actually up this, which would be a bad idea, but kind of funny. I can activate it now so that they don't get the pump, which would be also kind of cool. History of Benalia number 2. That is not happening. I think that the game's already over. We've got double Counterspell. We're just going to remove their History of Benalia so they don't get the pump effect on their knights. Good game. Good game. Wow. Yeah, we're just running people over. The Skyship Plunderer versus History of Benalia thing is really neat. So, what we would have done is we would have used the ability on the last one on their turn, on our turn, so that it would give them a +2/+1, but on defense, and just get rid of the History of Benalia. So there's really no way that they can race against Skyship Plunderer, especially with all that counter magic. That was an excellent draw. Just 1, 2, 3, and then a bunch of counter magic. Tempest Djinn is so much damage and so hard to deal with through, like, any removal when we have the counter magic, when we have the Siren Stormtamer. Man, it's just a beating. Look at us. We're going 4-0, 5-0 already. Just racing through these games. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not as good as the last hand, but I definitely don't throw this back. I feel like this deck has really consistent draws, which I like. There's just so many cards that are interchangeable for each other. Like, Warkite Marauder and Skyship Plunderer are all really close to each other. Maybe a mono-red matchup. I'm going to play Warkite Marauder first. If they have removal, I'd rather they kill that than the Skyship Plunderer. Although, it does mean that it's harder for us to get the counter onto the Aerialist right away if they don't have removal. Attack. We have the Lookout's Dispersal up if I really want to use it. I might actually wait, play Nimble Obstructionist, and have the Dispersal around. And then that means that I can Nimble Obstructionist at the end of their turn, and I can play Lookout's Dispersal and an Aerialist the turn afterwards for 4. Or, we can just Dispersal this, which I think I'll want to do. Chain Whirler. As with most decks, it's really good against us. Chain Whirler's just kind of bonkers. So we'll stop that before it can be a problem. And really hope that they don't have another one, because I'm about to play into it fairly hard. They'll be able to get both Skyship Plunderer and an Aerialist. If they have a Soulscar Mage, it gets even worse, but we're just going to cross our fingers and hope that's not the case. Not exactly where we want to be, but what do you do? I could have countered the triggered ability from Chain Whirler too. If they don't have it this turn, then we'll be able to do that later. Please don't have it. If they just have a removal for Aerialist, I'm fine with that. It looks like that might be what it is. They might Lightning Strike. Yeah. And another removal spell? A Braid or another Lightning Strike? Sure. They're kind of unfortunate, but we have this Tempest Djinn waiting in the wings. They've used a bunch of removal spells. And it'll cost them 2 removal spells to actually kill the Djinn most of the time. And we are going to play Djinn now. Kind of wish this Nimble Obstructionist was a land so that we could just slam Aerialist and Djinn, but beggars can't be choosers. Nice. I agree. That generally scares me, though, because that kind of makes me feel like they have the answer to it. And they feel really good about their chances of winning. Normally when people emote like that at you, they have something. Yep, there we go.
You want to go, tough guy?
Called it. Like, you know when your opponent starts emoting at you, they generally have the perfect answer and they want to tilt you. That does seem to be a common thing, unfortunately. Alright, let's kill Chandra. And get down Aerialist. And we'll hold up the Obstructionist. This is where we really needed a Siren Stormtamer so that they couldn't get rid of Djinn. Ugh. I think I just stopped that. Ooh, Dispersal is excellent. So now we go Warkite Marauder. We can actually race this. We just want to make Aerialist massive. make a new Djinn. They're already down to 10. We have a Dispersal. So we can probably stop... I mean, we're able to stop whatever they play next, for sure. And that leaves them in a really tough spot. Aether Sphere Harvester. No, we can't let them have that. That's got lifelink. Do they have a Magma Spray or something? I sure hope not. That means they can get rid of the Plunderer. I don't think so, though. I think we're good. Yeah, no. Curious Obsession. Ooh. We're going to put that on Warkite Marauder because it's the least threatening card otherwise. So if they have removal, using it on the Warkite Marauder is the thing that we'd want to have most. Yeah, good game. Good game. Favorable wins. We'll just leave that in hand. Are they conceding? There we go. Boom! 5-0. Even crushing Mono Red. Mono Red is a tough one, too, because Chain Whirler is still incredibly good against this. I mean, Chain Whirler's just... it's a tough card to beat. And our deck is constructed around a lot of 2-1s. So... despite the fact that I've chosen to go with this deck, despite the fact that the format is absolutely chock full of really good answers to us. But we've been able to dodge it so far, and things like Nimble Obstructionist, it shows you how important it is, because countering that Chain Whirler was a pretty key moment. Alright, this... ooh, man, this might be the worst hand that we've had. Favorable Winds is powerful, but we probably don't want 2 with only 1 creature. Unsummon is good a lot of the time, but generally a little bit later. Aerialist obviously is not the first attacker that we want, because we don't get raid off of it. I'll still slam it here, because we just need to get damage down. And it makes other Aerialists better. But we'll see what's going on. Ooh, yeah, this is unfortunately looking pretty awkward. I'm still gonna... I think I still play it. Essence Scatter? Uh-oh. Yep. That's a very aggressive Essence Scatter. Stopping a 1-2. That says to me that they have a lot more removal and counter spells, because that's... that was an aggressive Essence Scatter. Like, exceptionally aggressive. It's working out, though, because, I mean, obviously, if we had an Aerialist to attack, this one would have a raid. Next turn, we'll have an interesting decision. I don't think that we slam both favorable wins. I think that we slam one and hold up Unsummon to protect our own creature. We're not going to really need to use Unsummon against them. Wow, this is a lot of land. We're going to want to use it, I think, here to just protect our own creatures. Syncopate? It's possible they want to do that. Disallow. Sure. With that being the case, do I play the second one? They can have Seal Away on their own turn. I think I need to get some damage, though. And resolve something while they're tapped out. This is going to be a really tough game. A lot of lands, really threat light, and they're kind of the wrong threat, too. Now I hope they use some kind of removal here so that they're slightly tapped out. Maybe we can land Tempest Djinn. They have 4 cards in hand, though. They're acting like they have something. Do I try and land it? I think I do. I'm not sure that it's going to get better. Ooh. Nothing? They might have Settled the Wreckages then. Which I can unsummon our own creatures to kind of stop from getting blown out. Or we can just draw that. I meant to click that. I didn't. So we're missing out on a point of damage here. Feel like this is a settle. And then hopefully we get to Lookout's Dispersal it. They might have counter magic for this. Like, it's certainly possible they have negate. If they do, we can unsummon the Djinn. So it's not the end of the world. Or seal away. Blink of an eye. Okay. That is acceptable. We'll just replay the Djinn, play the land to hold up Unsummon, and pass. So our mistake of not playing the land first didn't end up hurting us because we wouldn't have dealt the damage anyways. We just look a little silly because our opponent was like, wait, why didn't they play the land to pump this? And the answer is, I clicked on it, but I didn't actually drag it the way that I meant to. And now I'm not thinking. Although I kind of don't want to show them that I don't have anything but one card in hand. Which is the other reason for it. Whoa, that is rough. And that's going to be a Settle the Wreckage. Lookout's Dispersal would have been so good. It's alright, we'll unsummon our Tempest Djinn. And we'll get a land off of it. I'm going to hold this island in hand, though. It doesn't actually change the clock here on our opponent either. It was 2 turns no matter what, so... Not that bad of an idea to just leave it up and hope they assume we have something. I'm going to actually go full control, even. Just so that we can represent as if we have a card. They'll definitely attack into this, yeah. Probably the best thing for him is for us to block. And another land. They're flooding pretty hard, which is good for us. Alright. I'm just gonna go for it. I feel like they have the seal away, but I also don't think we have much choice. We can't just sit here and do nothing. 2 colorless. Oh, hieroglyphic. Okay. So they don't have it. They're hoping to hit it. It seems like they drew nothing because they immediately had a very quick turn afterwards. Interesting. This is a close game. Because if they draw a seal away right now, they stop Tempest Djinn, and we're in a lot of trouble. It seems like they drew a ton of land, though. Uh-oh. Nope, 2. Colorless. Glimmer of Genius. Alright, so yeah, they're just desperately digging for removal for it. Really high chance they hit it. I mean, they've drawn a lot of extra cards. They're getting to Scry 2 here as well, so... I think that Tempest Djinn's days are numbered. I'd be very surprised. We'd be super lucky to not have it die here. If they let us untap, we still have the chance of hitting a Lookout's Dispersal, which can counter Seal Away even. They don't have enough mana for it. Definitely take the damage. We are trying to race. Siren Stormtamer is a really good hit. We can't get wreckaged then. We can't get Seal Awayed. So if they have a counter spell and a Seal Away, they kind of needed to use it there. Well, this looks really good for us. They basically need 2 pieces of removal. Nope. And Stormtamered. Man, Stormtamer is such a good card. Woo! Wow. Well, they flooded out a little bit, and we drew the Stormtamer on the key turn. Got him. Close game. I mean, if they had actually been able to land the Settled Wreckage, I don't think if we hadn't drawn the Stormtamer, I probably would have just attacked with a 3-2, or maybe just the Djinn. One or the other. I would have had to make a decision there. And then they'd have hit us down to 5 with the Torrential Gear Hulk, and then we've got some really tough turns. Like, we have to draw really well to get out of that, but man, we did it. We top-decked the Stormtamer and just pushed through enough damage. Stormtamer is so key. So if you're thinking about building this deck, you can make some changes. We talked about some of the 2-1s that you can switch around when I did the deck tech. But yeah, Stormtamer you have to have. That's just, there's too many Settled Wreckages, there's too many Seal-Aways, there's too many things that can just wreck your day. And man, Stormtamer just saves you from all of it. Alright, we're in Game 7. Haven't lost one yet. Yeah, this hand seems good enough. We've got Warkite Marauder, and then we can hold up Lookout's Dispersal for it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, we're on the draw against Mono Red with a good start. That's not where we want to be. We can unsummon the Bomat Courier just to stop some of the value, which is nice, I guess. Turn 1 Bomat Courier is a lot of tempo. I mean, it just draws them so many cards later in the game. So we can kind of prevent that. I'm not sure if we want to here. It might be the right thing to do. You know, I'm going to do it. This is probably way too aggressive, but we might want to use Unsummon to protect our own creatures. I'm hoping that Lookout's Dispersal will do that for us later on, where they're going to be able to race us effectively by drawing a bunch of cards off the Bomat Courier. Because it keeps punching through all of our creatures. We don't have good blockers here. Heart of Kiran's annoying, because we can't really use, like, Warkite Marauder to stop it. They can just use it after this trigger is resolved. Still have it as a blocker. Ugh, yep, Chain Whirler. Yeah, this is a lot of the best cards that they can have against us, and a really great curve. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. Like, we've got to expect that this is going to happen eventually. Just, you know, man, would have liked the perfect. This is a tough match right now, though. I mean, their hand has been excellent. It's going to be very tough for us to win this. We'll see. I mean, we have possibly the option of, if we get a land, we could have, like, a Plunderer plus Dispersal. Reading Djinn. I can't really block the Goblin Chain Whirler if they attack. It's just too risky. I think they're deciding whether or not they actually just want to use the Heart of Kiran, though. They might have another creature that they can play down and activate the Kiran with. Yep, there we go. So they'll do it that way. Yep. And they still have it back on blocks because of the Chain Whirler. We can use Nimble Obstructionist to stop it from crewing. I'm not sure that that really helps us. I can use Curious Obsession so I have blockers. I still can't play Lookout's Dispersal, though. I think... Oh, goodness. And the problem is that we can't actually... I can't have a blocker with this because I have to attack her at sacrifices. I might just attack here, play a Plunderer to jump block. I really need a land, is what I need. Come on, island. Alright. So... Unfortunately, we can't really go Plunderer Dispersal here. I don't think it's a good idea for us to just pass and hold up Dispersal. We're looking at 7 damage, going down to 3. They have 3 cards in hand. Sure, we counter one of them, but we're not really racing that effectively. Could just hold up the Obstructionist, use it to chump block. That might be the best use of it. I think we pass the turn. We probably flash an Obstructionist to chump block the Heart of Kiran. And then we can attack back with, like we can play a Plunderer and hold up Lookout's Dispersal. If they're not dealing us lethal too, we can also try and crack back for lethal. We're going to be able to play 8. Sure. I don't think that there's a way for us to get there. Well, actually... Okay, so this is lethal. We have to block. Or we can just counter it with the Nimble Obstructionist, I suppose. Either way works. I guess this way we draw a card. This is slightly better. Stop them from crewing. They can still recrew it, but then that means they don't have it to block. Yeah, if they didn't have lethal there, we could have possibly gone into where we flash this in. We have 8 damage on board, and all we have to do is hit a favorable wins, and we can win the game. What am I talking about? I was looking at my own life total. I thought they were around 10. I think I was looking at my own life. Yeah, this is, I don't think, a winnable position. Does Unsummon do enough? Not really. Have a lot of damage coming in. Heart of Kiran is just an issue. Plunderer, block, block. It's 3 damage? Maybe? Maybe we can survive through that? I keep doing this. I keep playing my land afterwards. Just silly plays. Does give me another blocker. And that's really important here. I could now hold up Lookout's Dispersal. Stop them from having another spell. We know we can chump block here, chump block here. They're crewing it. So... You know, if they don't crew, actually, that's the way for them to win. We leave ourselves dead on board if they decide not to crew. Alright, I have to play Plunderer. They're too likely to see that answer. Because otherwise we go block, block, and they just don't activate Heart of Kiran. That's 4 damage. That should be lethal. There you go. For the exact same reason as before. So now 1 can't block. We go block, block, and take 4. So we were right. Our opponent did see it. Not really a way out of that. I played really loose. I should have played my land beforehand. I keep doing that. That's something that I need to remember. I'm so used to playing things post-combat, I always forget about the Tempest Djinn needing to play them pre-combat. I like holding up spells, holding up cards in hand, making them think that I have a spell, but I need to get out of that habit when playing that deck. So that's something really important to remember when you're trying to run this thing, is that you may have, like me, like slammed it into yourself to play lands after combat, and you've got to really remember not to do that with this deck. Alright, going for 7 wins again. Can't get the perfect, but we're still doing pretty well. I think we keep this. It's too bad that our opponent's going first. If they're mono red again, probably in a lot of trouble. I feel like that one goes, in many ways, as a coin flip to who goes first, especially game 1. Legion's Landing. Ugh. I think that this one might be as bad for us with all the lifelink that they're going to have. It's going to be tough to race them. We don't have great blockers. Anointer Priest. Okay, well maybe not. I mean, the life gain here is certainly going to be annoying, but I'm not sure that I mind Anointer Priest. It's not as much damage. We can pump through a ton. This is something. Another Legion's Landing. I mean, that's just a 1-1 for 1 here, so it's not too bad for us. And they didn't attack with a token. Okay, good news, good news. We're going to play Curious Obsession onto our Warkite Marauder. And we're going to play Stormfleet Aerialist because it can block. Favorable wins. Yeah, I might want to play the Siren Stormtamer there because it can protect our creature. But I feel like our opponent's deck is also just focused on being really aggressive and maybe doesn't have answers, as they immediately have, well, the best answer. Alright, I mean, good thing I don't have other ones, so that's a thing, I suppose. But, ugh. Wow, that sucks. Well, could have stopped that. Now Lookout's Dispersal is solid, but not solid enough. We're gonna go Djinn, Stormtamer, and just try and tempo them. The one thing about the Adonto is that it is slow. Angel of Sanctions, what is going on? Alright, well that does get rid of the Tempest Djinn. I'm just not expecting a lot of these cards. Could favorable wins. I think we do that. Or even just hold up Lookout's Dispersal. I keep getting wrecked here by not holding up my spells. So let's slow down. Play a little more carefully. This is a really weird deck. I don't want Helm of the Host happening. So the opponent will just pass. Unsummon. Too bad we don't have Lookout's Dispersal anymore. But we can... I don't want to attack with Stormfleet Aerialist and try and trap this Angel of Sanctions. They might try and attack in with it, and I want to get this Dreamcaller Siren to get them. Benelish Marshal. Alright. That does make it a 4-5. So it means that we do have to lose creatures here. We don't just get to eat Angel of Sanctions if we did do it. Oh wow. Okay, they didn't attack with it. Really hoped they would. It's an oddball deck, but it's really getting us. We've played loose. We just didn't play very well either. I can unsummon. They're gaining a lot of life, though. 2 and 4. So you get 4 life back. I think we're going to want to attack these and leave the Aerialist back to block. We can unsummon the token if we want, or unsummon Angel of Sanctions, so that we can try and deal a lot of damage back to them. History of Benalia. Okay. Yep. 2 more life, up to 13. Well, I mean, I can hit them back for lethal. Do they have Pride of Conquerors or something? Well, I have lethal. Whew. And we got him. Yeah, I needed to slow down a little bit there. I think that I just needed to hold up more counters magic. I didn't expect them to have as many interaction spells as they did, like the Ixalan's Binding and things like that. I was expecting more of the Benelish Marshall kind of plays, not really expecting the Angel of Sanctions, not really expecting the Ixalan's Binding. I was expecting a lot more kind of early game plays, or even just something like History of Benalia or Anointed Procession, things like that, since they were running the priests. That kind of made sense to me. A lot of like random, weird, mono white like weenie decks. Maybe things like Oracles, not Oracles, what's it called? Oh my goodness. Oketra's. The 3 mana artifact. I cannot remember the name of it at all. The one that means that you get a... Oketra's Monument, thank you. That's what it is. 3-cost artifact that you can get extra 1/1s off of. I was expecting those kinds of cards and not really expecting the removal. So I needed to just like slow down, reevaluate, and readjust my game plan. And I think that worked out really, really well there. So... thankfully, we made it. That was going to be a tough match otherwise, though. A lot of lifelink is tough for us to beat. We're pretty good against a lot of decks that have like all the little ground pounders because we just fly over them and deal a ton of damage. But at the same time, I mean, if it has lifelink, then suddenly that really changes the equation. Thankfully, Unsummon, saving the day. Unsummon is a very, like, it looks really mediocre, but man, this is just enough for this deck to punch through a lot of the time, and Angel of Sanctions was particularly vulnerable to it. So, hope that you all enjoyed this deck. It was really, really fun to play. There's a lot of sideboard options for it as well. I'm going to link the Deck of the Day article from channelfireball.com that kind of goes into some of the sideboard options for it as well. You can put in things like Glyph Keepers and... like Deep Freezes as other removal spells, maybe extra Dreamcaller Sirens, Blink of an Eye, Essence Scatters, things like that for different decks. Select for Inspection if you really need to bounce a lot of your opponent's creatures, so if you need a little bit more tempo, if you think you're going to be racing a lot, so you have extra unsummons. And yeah, I think this deck is really cool. It's actually been doing really well for me, as you can tell. I mean, we just kind of crushed that event, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I will see you soon. If you want to check out helping me out, I'd certainly appreciate a follow here on YouTube or check me out on Twitch. We got enough patrons to hit one of our big Patreon rewards that we could actually keep doing full-time content. So I really, really appreciate that. I'm super, super happy to be doing this for all of you wonderful people. I've got new Patreon tokens coming out, so I'm sending out some Patreon tokens to some lucky winners soon. And again, I cannot thank you enough for your support and for the support of my wonderful sponsor, inkgaming.com. I've got some cool playmats that you can get from down below, and I also have a code so you can get 12% off your orders. You can check that all out down below this video here in the description, and I will see you next week. Thanks for stopping by.